Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Malaika K, Falla of Malaika International, seeking to make all lives actualize and inspire through kind actions. I am passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness and taking compassionate actions towards our fellow human beings. Today, I am so pleased to be back to continue our conversation and talk about self-validation. Self-validation in an interconnected world. Ladies and gentlemen, self-validation is a very relevant topic. It appears that we're constantly living our lives. It appears that way. We're constantly living our lives to please the external world and not that internal world of ours. What is self-validation? Why is self-validation so relevant, and why should we seek self-validation? What internal validation of yours is missing, which just might lead you to sometimes misrepresent your own human fabric? That human fabric of yours against your truth, who you are. What image are you representing on your own life canvas? You took a canvas. It's a canvas where you are an artist of your life, and you are going to draw a picture, a portrait of who you are. What are you representing? What image are you representing on your life canvas that perhaps it appears so robust, but yet seemingly is complex? What internalized quests are you assuming to be unknown, but it's obvious? What is self-validation? First of all, validation for this subject matter will be defined as your humanness. It's going to be defined as supporting your humanness. Supporting your humanness through your own beliefs, your values. Your truth, that truth of yours, through wholeness, through the wholeness of your human purpose. Self-validation, looked at it this way, in its most basic form, one thinks about self-approval, because it is that sort of self-regulating and self-judging internal mechanism which I believe enables you and I to think well about who we are, or poorly about who we are, about oneself, you and I. Self-validation is very powerful. It's a powerful force. Why? Because it has the ability to causes us want to reach such great success. Or an alternative to success is such great failure. Don't mean that failure isn't a good thing, but your mind in this respect controls and play a big role of what the self-talk It's your self-validation. It can cause you to end your life on the bad side of the equation, and it also can cause you to go on with life on the very good side of the equation. You know, self-validation, it can be the greatest ally of our most capable destructive muses. So in the end, here's the thing. In the end, at the end of the day, it's a start. It all rests within our minds, within your mind. Let us say that one is widely successful at what he or she does in his or her life, because that's likely and it's largely as a result of one self-validating themselves without knowing that that's what they are doing at some point on that part of that person. Because what? You know yourself, you know what you're capable of, you know that what you're great at, you have greatness in areas, you have weaknesses, you have strength. So as a result, you act upon self-validating yourself to reach your highest peak of your defined success. Not one that I define, or the world define, or your friends define, or people that are affiliated with you define, but what you defined. On the flip side of the coin here, okay? Think about this. Let us say that you have absolutely no way of understanding how to self-validate, how to be self-validated inside yourself. You have filled your mind with demons or words that are so tarnishing and belittling that you cannot even see the good in your own self. You possess this significant guilt and regret. For what? I don't know. Tell me about it. So this is at this exact point which you might just want to consider. When I spoke about helping yourself, doing well for yourself or harming yourself, this is at this point which you might just want to consider harming yourself ultimately, or God forbid, ending your life. Ladies and gentlemen, self-validation doesn't come with how much financial status you have, who you are, what is it you have, you're better than XYZ. Self-validation comes from within. It's an eternal work of yourself. It's not an external validation. Whenever it is an external validation, there is a problem. It's like the egg. If that egg cracks from within, wonderful. If you not crack that egg, you know it's not going to be a good one. So when you expect that you have to ask everyone how is it? What do you expect? You are going to be expecting yourself to face some sort of destruction. I got news for you. The news I have for you. No one on this planet would ever tell you or make you feel the way that you feel and you should be feeling, because there will always be someone who would come and tell you, oh, it was okay, but no, it was okay. I'm okay. I'm enough. I am worthy of what I did. I am good. I know what I'm good at. I know what makes me a person. I know what my purpose in this world is. Or there could be many purposes you have. I know what is unique about me. Because my uniqueness is that portion of my individuality, which is myself, and my uniqueness, which is then the masterpiece of myself that I or no one can never replicate me, because I'm a masterpiece of myself. What makes me me is my uniqueness and my individuality of who I am. That you can do exactly what I do, but you will never do it the way I do it. And I will not do it the way you do it, because we all are made in an image and the likeness of our higher power. I have a uniqueness of myself. I don't need to try to speak like anyone, act like anyone, but be myself. Because be myself makes me stand up in the crowd. But if I'm trying to be XYZ, who God has created in her image, in his image and his likeness, everyone has been taken. I am me. I am worthy. I'm enough. Ask yourself this question: what's most important to you, to your own self-validation? Is internal peace important? If internal peace is important, you're going to internalize validating yourself, not from an external world. What are you allowing yourself? What are you allowing society to tell you? How to look? How to be happy? How to live your life? Come on. Who should be your friends? Well, how to hate your fellow human beings because you are XYZ class. You have A, B, C, D to look down upon people. How to be unkind. Why? Why? And why? What is it? What separates you from the rest of the world? Inside that space, when you have validated yourself, and that's a whole different topic, then you are able to overflow that joy, that peace of your own self-validation, because you're enough. When you're enough and you are a human spirit, you share with others. But before you get to that point, there's a place of acceptance. Before you get to that point, there's a place where you have made up your mind in a mindful state. But let's ask this question. Lots of us go in between. The question is, what are you trying to balance? Yes, we talk about life balance. Have we ever balanced life, career, social, family? Let's just go down the list. If you went on the tip of the scale as a human being, the scale is never going to be balanced. Are you trying to balance a relationship? Are you trying to balance work or career? Have you balanced it all? You might be answering me by saying no. So stop. Let's stop here. Stop. I use the acronym for stop. I say stop. Think. Observe. And passively participate. So when you have made that stop, you're thinking about everything. You're observing your surrounding. You're probably observing yourself before you can passively submit and take actions. Go back into yourself. Go back into your mind. Engage your mind with thoughts that are nourishing to your well-being, not destructive, but constructive. Validation can never be obtained from an outward force. It got to be obtained from within. It must be seek from within. Because what? It is an eternal job. It is an eternal job. Because here's the thing, there may reside some amount of confliction between the world's self-awareness, self-esteem, and self-validation. So, perhaps appropriately with those words, they are connected. They are interconnected in my views, because each of those words that ties the piece to validation, it may, however, be different from the purpose of this discussion, but it is as important with the focus on being self-validated. Because when validating oneself, you can arguably think about the most important aspect of my existence, your existence, is the fuel of that engine, the fuel of your engine to survive longevity. So if you think about it, lack of your own self-validation, okay, is akin to being shot upon the enemy and just waiting perhaps to take the bullet to end your own maybe life if you refuse to. I truly believe that self-validation, it resides just largely within that domain of our mental health. This is so sensitive. So let me speak about myself momentarily, if that would be fine. You know, I do believe each of us have moments. So there are times, some mornings in which when I wake up, okay, I tell myself that I would go to work and I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to smile with everyone today. I'm going to do everything so perfect. There's no perfection. Knock it off. So some form of psychology phenomena has kicked in right here, and it's also had lent itself to my sense of euphoria. Got it? Yes. On other mornings, however, I wake up and I would tell myself that, oh, I don't know if today is the right day, the end of the world. Oh, you can relate to what I'm saying. I do believe each of us have had some sort of, some mornings where we wake up, it's so bright and beautiful. And some mornings we wake up and think, oh no, it's not going well. It's less pleasant. It's a less pleasant condition in my personal life, and we start to cram out stuff, A, B, C, D. Because that's in psychology. The psychological phenomena that I'm speaking about, to that effect of that self-validation, plays, but it's also impacting. It is impacting me or you in a negative way on that day, and it also will impact you in a positive way on that day, that you think the world is beautiful, you have it all, everything's wonderful. Think hard. I do want you to think very hard and long about what I just said, you know. Because I'm the same me every day. Every single day. But my my mind focus, the focuses causes me to react differently on different dates. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't the mind so powerful? You can't talk about self-validation and you can give all the acceptance, you can give all the acknowledgement. If you fail to discuss the mind in self-validation, you have done your audience all the wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, is the mind a powerful thing? Yes. Our minds are the most powerful thing. Our minds are what exists with determining how we go from point A to point B with success that is constructive or destructive. So I don't want to make this a point by saying all of us at some point suffer from something. I'm not going to assess or try to assert that on anyone. But yes, I will say from a spiritual point, each of us face some inner demon to an extent or another. Maybe the things that are maybe some things are just different, you know? Maybe it's different from those who do not internalize through that process. That it takes that tomorrow will be better because of hope. When I spoke about hope, hope is where tomorrow comes into play. It's that means of promising. Our self-validation, it tells us that our lives are worthy and is valuable and that we deserve to remain on this earth. Those of us who might choose to maybe choose another path, should I say they cannot surmount their inner demon? Maybe. And thus, maybe, I'm not judging anyone. They can't see their way through, things are cloudy. They can't stop, they can't go in a mindful state. They might just end their existences on the external side of things and not going deeply to the internal of who they are. So when I wake up tomorrow, and if my mind tells me that my world is coming to an end, what do I do with that? What I call in my mental disposition, my inner demon. You interpret what that would be. I'm speaking of me personally, okay? I'm going to choose to tell myself that tomorrow will always be better. It's going to always be a better day. And I will make an active choice. Here. Make an active choice to continue. Why tomorrow would be better. Do you know why? Because self-validation is an individualized need for an individualization of a person, because your uniqueness is only fulfilling to you, no one else. No one else in this world is a masterpiece of who you are, only you. You must accept yourself for who you are. Something inside of you, you know it's not right, but it's there. You have to deal with it, live with it, act with it, and be with it. That's who you are. You are not going to look at yourself and think that this world is not a place or a happy place where you should be. Okay? Tell yourself I'm worth it because I know what I feel inside. You know what you feel inside. That's why you're worthy of who you are. Okay? Internalize your internal constitution. You don't need no social proof for anyone. But let me talk about 4 points very quickly that will definitely kind of align us with this self-validation here. So let's think about gratitude. The first thing to allow yourself to be self-validated, gratitude. All that you are. You're all that you are. And what this world has to offer is because you appreciate, you're grateful for your life. You're grateful to be alive. You're surrounding yourself with the support that is necessary. There's so many people on this earth that are less blessed than you are. Just remember that. Because each day that comes upon us, you wake up. You're lucky. I'm lucky. I'm blessed and you're blessed. To see the star, to see the sun, to see the moon. Okay? Here's another thing. Accept yourself for who you are. Pass no judgment upon yourself. Seek no actualization from anyone but yourself. Allow your mental and emotional well-being to be stable for you and not others, to allow you to be the kite I spoke about. You are not the kite. You are not moved by the visibility of the wind, but you are moved by your own visibility of your own internalized wind. Acceptance. Whether you have A, B, C, D, accept yourself for who you are. Conduct yourself in an existing way to think about doing greatness for yourself. God made you in His own image, in His likeness. If you accept yourself for who you are, you do very well. Okay? That's so very, very important in accepting and that acknowledgement. Because a lot of time we put ourselves in a place where we do not self-respect. We do not have self-worthiness for who we are. We do not take the time to understand who we are and accept the person that we are. We might not take ourselves seriously. Think about your thoughts, think about your emotions, and think about your feelings. The last and not the very least is services for the greater good. And that services for the greater good to society is seeking the beauty. Seek to find beauty in yourself in this world. Because by serving your fellow human beings, it becomes one of the greatest gifts you can give back to yourself and to others. Because there is a defined divide between those who you have help and those who will need you. And that is an incumbent that is put upon us as citizens of this world to bridge the gap. There's so many things happening around the world. In North America, South America, Africa. People cannot get clean water. People are deserving, want to live. Children. Members of this infringement families who do not have enough to eat in our localities, our community. They deserve our service. Each member of our society to serve. Each member of our society do certainly deserve to be paid attention to or engaging in services that probably it becomes most fulfilling to your own pursuit that you might just even engage in. Think about how self-satisfying this is going to be when you internalize that. When you are helping others for the greater good, when you are serving, you're not wandering this planet. You are not selfish. You are not self-serving. But you are intentionally choosing to serve others. I with intent wanted to end it at that intention phase, because becoming self-validated is going to be an intention actions of yours. To allow yourself, to acknowledge yourself, to accept yourself for who you are. Making that conscious choice of yourself and not of others. To be honest with yourself. To symbolize yourself as a symbol of greatness. To go inside of yourself seeking your own internal worth and not an external worth of anything. Because you and I have our whole life in front of us. We have perhaps limited time, limitless time. Let's agree on that. What are you and I going to do? And how are we going to spend the rest of our lives? As we know, life is short. Our time is limitless. What is it do we value? Are we seeking some sort of calmness and inner peace? Are we seeking calmness, inner peace, and happiness? Most of all, are we seeking love and compassion? Because the choice we make, it becomes a sense of our reflection. It's actually our inflection which then reflects our values. And those values becomes consciously intentional, and it should become strategic for you and I. Because self-validation, there are good things about you and there are bad things about you. So think about yourself, your individual self, your individuality, your uniqueness. I keep going back to that uniqueness. Your uniqueness, which is a masterpiece of yourself that can never be replicated, and with such intention I use the word never. It can never be replicated. Take with you, what have you allowed yourself to believe about yourself? Go in the world and internalize and self-validate yourself and shut the world down in order to seek that inner peace. I want to say thank you and have a beautiful day, and we will be in touch again. Goodbye.